Guys, how are you? I hope I find you well. This is Farai Maside, and welcome to my channel. So today I would like to show you how we can use the round function, the round down, and the round up function that is embedded in Microsoft Excel. And for us to do that, I've got a couple of questions that we'll have to answer using this data here that has been provided. So before we start, please remember to like, subscribe, and comment on my channel. Thank you very much for supporting me in advance. Okay, so we've got this data set of baskets. We've got 4 baskets, that is basket A up to D, and each basket has got quite a number of eggs in it. So using this data, we want to answer a couple of questions. Then from there we can see how we apply the round function. So for example, the first question that I have with me here, it requires us to find the total number of eggs. It requires us to find the total number of eggs. So for those of you who watched my previous video, I did share with you how we can find the sum of a given data in Microsoft Excel. So for us to answer this question, I will come here and say we want to find what? We want to find the total. We want to find the total number of eggs. We want to find the total number of eggs. So for us to find the total number of eggs, well, the last time I showed you 3 main ways, of which for today we'll just come here and say equals to, and then we use the sum function. We use the sum function, and then after opening our bracket, we then highlight our data. Then after highlighting our data, it's either we close, or even sometimes we forgot to put your closing brackets and simply press enter. We discussed and agreed that Microsoft Excel will automatically put that closing bracket for you. So if we add everything, we are getting 6,677 eggs. This is the total number of eggs that we have. So maybe before we move on to the next question, just a recap of what we discussed on my last video. We further discussed that for us to also be able to quickly find the total number of any given data, we simply come here and highlight our data set. But when we are highlighting, we also have to make sure that we highlight the next available cell soon after our last digit, and then from there we go to our formulas, and then we press auto sum. The moment we press auto sum, Microsoft Excel will calculate all the values that have been highlighted, and that figure it will be placed in that next available cell that you would have highlighted. So as you can see, we are getting the same answer, or also even when we are using this kind of method. So that also gives us confidence of our answer that it is correct. So then I can remove that. It's not part of this video. Then from there now, the question comes. Then now move on to the next question. Our next question says find the total number of crates that are needed. Find the total number of crates that are needed. Remember, each crate has got 30 eggs. Each crate has got 30 eggs. So for us to find the total number of crates that are needed, we have to come here also and say equals to. We take this total number of eggs that we have, and after taking that total number of eggs that we have, we simply divide by 30. We simply divide by 30. So the reason why we're dividing by 30 is because each crate has got 30 eggs. And then I press enter. Then I discover that I'm getting that whole number, which is 222.5666667. So this is the total number of crates that are needed to put our eggs in. So as you can see, our number is a decimal number, of which we know that the first 3 digits, that is 222, it simply means that we need 222 crates that will be having 30 eggs each. So then now, if you want to know the remainder or the remaining eggs that does not constitute a crate, we have to come here, maybe also again using our Microsoft Excel. We can simply, let's say, come to this cell and say this is equals to. I now know that my crates are 222, so maybe I'll just say open bracket. After opening brackets, I'll then say 222 then I multiply that value by 30. 222, I multiply that value by 30. Or maybe before we do that, so that we will make sure that we obtain a positive value, I'll come in and edit my formula. I'll just have to take the total number of x that we have, and then subtract the ones that constituted 30 crates. I'll simply take the total number of x, and then I subtract those eggs that managed to fit into the 222 crates that we have discovered from our formula, of which that's when we say you have to put that one in brackets and say 222 multiplied by 30, so that Excel, when it's now doing its calculation, it will prioritize to find the solution of the values that have been put or that are inside the brackets before subtracting from the 6672 number 77 number of x that we have. So those of you who know the BOMTAS or the BODMAS rule, that brackets have to be given priority. So then from there I press enter. I discover that I've got 17 more x which will remain after having put all after having put the other eggs in their crates. So now here comes another question now, which made me to record this video, where we want to now use the round for the round function. So for example, now we want to present this our number, or want to present our answer for the total number of crates as a whole number. We want to present our answer as a whole number. We want to present our answer as a whole number. So for example, I know here that I just need to add 222 crates. However, the remaining eggs as well, 17 eggs, will also need a crate, so that they are also put in their own crate, even though they don't reach 30 to make a full crate. So when using the round function to get that figure, you simply come here and say round, then open bracket. And also, if you discover here I'm using a plus sign, remember in my last video I did elaborate that you can use either a plus sign or you can use an equal sign. Microsoft Excel will definitely will treat these symbols the same, especially if they are initiating a rule. So I just come here and say round, and then I click my number of crates, and then I put a comma. Now I have to determine how many digits do we want after the comma. So since in this case we want the total number of crates, or since rather we're talking about physical things, therefore our answer should always be a whole number. Therefore, if I don't want any number after the comma, I simply put a 0. Then after putting a 0, then I close my brackets, and then I press enter. So you see that Microsoft Excel has rounded that figure to 223 crates. So that extra one crate that we need is to put the 17 eggs that we need. So that is how we use the round function. However, there are other cases whereby, for example, let's say our figure, let's say here, for example, let's say our figure is basket A had 1,495 eggs. Maybe let's reduce that one to maybe 1,500 and let's say 1,490. Yes. So if I reduce that figure by 5x, you discover that the total number of crates that are now needed is 222.4. And the remaining eggs now have reduced from 17 to 12, because we reduced our eggs by 5. However, if you check our rounded figure when we were using the round function here, the value has reduced from 222 from 223, sorry, to 222. Why? Because Microsoft Excel applied the normal basic mathematical rule that if a value is less than 0.5, we round downwards. If it is 0.5 and above, then we round upwards. However, if we use this rule here, it doesn't apply, because it will make us to have 222 crates, and yet we still need 223 crates. Therefore, that is when now, okay, let me first of all write the round here. That is when now, to make sure that we obtain that extra crate that we need, we then have to now use the round up function. We now have to use the round up function, so that we are telling Microsoft Excel that as long as there is a value after the comma, then we still need that crate. Whether it is above 0.5 or it is below 0.5, we still need that extra crate. So for us to come here, for us to get that value now, we simply come here and say round up. And then when you say round up, then we then now open up brackets, and then we click or we select the total number of crates that are there. And then again, we put our comma. The number of digits after the comma, we still want it to be 0. We still want it to be 0. And then after that, we close. And then, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we are now obtaining 223 crates. So as long as there is a value now, we've instructed Microsoft Excel to include that extra crate, so that we'll be able to put our 12 eggs that are in the baskets. Then our final question now that will help us to explain the round down function again. It says using the round function, find the total number of full crates. Find the total number of full crates. So now what we want to find the total number of full crates, of which, from the look of the things, you can see from the total number of crates that we've got 222.4. of which we can still come here in the and write 222, and then we are done. But then now we need to demonstrate the skill of using round down, the round down function, of which I will come here and say equals to round down. Then again I open my brackets, then I select the total number of crates, and then again a comma, and then I put a 0, and then I close my bracket, and then from there I press enter. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting 222. Similar again, I can also maybe even delete this one and come this side again. Maybe let's go back to our value, which was 1495. We are now back to our value of 1495. So from 1495, you can see that we have got 222.56666. And in normal mathematics, if it is 0.56 or if it is 0.5 and above, we know that we have to round up to 223. However, since we want to find the total number of full crates, we simply come here again and we say what? And we say round down. And we say round down. And of which, if we say round down now, and then I select my value, and then a comma and a 0 again, and then I close my bracket, and then press enter. As you can see, I'm obtaining 222. So when we're saying round down or round up, we are simply instructing Microsoft Excel to override the basic mathematical rule, because in this case, under normal circumstances, the answer was supposed to be 223 here. The answer was supposed to be 223. Why? Because of this 0.566667 that is here. But because our instruction to Microsoft was to round every value, any value, round it downwards, therefore our answer becomes 222 or 222. So ladies and gentlemen, that is how we basically use the round function, the round up function, as well as the round down function in Microsoft Excel. And this helps us a lot, especially when we're dealing with physical quantities. So the when we know that your answer always has to be in whole number terms. And also it helps us because whenever now you are inputting other different figures, Microsoft Excel will automatically calculate for you the total number of crates and all the other information that you need, depending on where exactly these formulas are being used. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for following my videos. Thank you very much for this tutorial. You're making everything possible through your support. Thank you very much. I will see you in our next video. Remember to like, subscribe, as well as comment.